he looks like he's drowning. And she's like, you can't do that in my pool. So your option is to stay.
Good morning, sunshine. So this episode, where do I even start with this episode? This episode is the most magical few days that I have ever experienced, and I'm only showing you one of those days, but they were yeah, just watch.
If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Karen, and my daughters and I have been living on the road for the past 3 years, exploring, working, and learning through discovery. In this episode, we will be spending some time with local Mayan family in Nuevo Durango, YUCATAN. We will harvest some food for the animals, feed them, explore a cenote, and learn how to make tortillas.
Okay, let me hop in for a quick little explanation. This Mayan family is not just any Mayan family. They're actually a really special Mayan family. Okay, story time. Manuel lives in a town with 6 Mayan families. These 6 Mayan families are surrounded by jungle. A hurricane came and wiped out most of the jungle in the area, and the ocelots had nowhere to hunt, so they would come into the town and eat people's chickens or any kind of livestock. So people started killing the ocelots as a solution to their problem, and here comes Manuel and offers to capture them and give them a place to call home. He created cages in his land, but in came the government and told him that he wasn't able to keep them, that he had to release them to neighboring jungles, but he was able to keep other endangered species. So now Manuel has an animal sanctuary, and in the animal sanctuary he keeps several animals that the government brings them to rehabilitate, to set out in the wild, or even some that is not possible to rehabilitate. Aside from this, he lives off his land. He doesn't really believe in money. He sees money as a luxury, like something a little extra that you have just because. And then he's creating the life of his dreams. Within those dreams was the dream for him and his wife to have a rustic cabin to spend some time in, and that's where we come in. So he has his cabin. He decided to rent it out. If you want to hear the whole business model, refer to my other video on young entrepreneurs. I'll put the link in the description. So we rent this cabin, and that's how we met Manuel, and we got to spend a few days with him, and he completely embraced it. Back to the story. Now back to today. Let's have some breakfast. On our way to breakfast. Hola. I would live here. I want to live here. I can't do that. They offered to cook for us different meals, even though the Airbnb has a kitchen in it, and we could have totally cooked it ourselves, but we could have missed the opportunity to eat some traditional Mayan food. And every meal was so special and delicious, and we ate what I thought would have been breakfast for dinner and what I thought would have been dinner for breakfast. Yeah, so today we had vegetables for breakfast. I was in heaven. Vegetables too is what I prefer above anything else, and that's what we got to have today. And they've been very accommodating to my dietary needs, which has been incredible, and they have treated us like royalty. It's very special. I am very grateful to Manuel, his family, and his amazing wife. Yeah, so now he offered if we wanted to go help them feed the animals, and of course,
esta es la mía.
Wow.
Pero vas a ver cómo. ¿Cuál es?
Bye, Lola. Oh, never mind. We love you. Oh, she's following. Bye. We love you. Oh, Bud is coming through. Oh, we're not. She's actually keeping up. That is a fast dog.
they haven't had much rain in a long time, so there aren't really any pastures for the animals to graze on, or you know, for them to collect food from. So this tree, it's called the Ramon tree. My dad's name is Ramon, so we joked like Ramon was the name of the tree, but that is the kind of tree it is.
Thank you, Ramon.
So he climbs this tree without a rope, without a harness. He climbs it, he clips it. He did that the night before for us, and so we could have a pile of leaves to trim down to feed to the animals.
El machete no se usa derecho. Cuando está un árbol así, es siempre una posición así de lado. Nunca podemos hacer esto así. Es la mano lejos y hacemos esto. ¿Eh?
So our job was to trim down the big branches, make them into smaller packs, and then carry them onto the trailer.
That's just some of what we have to cut up.
So using the machete is not that easy, but I tried until it worked.
It might just be heavy, so. Yeah.
You can do this! Over your shoulder.
Agárralo entonces y te ayudamos para que lo tengas en la espalda. Date vuelta. Eso, así. Vámonos, vámonos. Vamos.
Yep. Nothing glamorous about this, but I felt so freaking accomplished that I had to share.
Good job. Beep beep. Coming through.
Beep, beep, I'm a sheep.
Once we got them in the trailer, we drove to where he keeps the animals.
Oh. It says I can feed myself. I'll rip it off.
Here, all of it. Have a buffet. Oh.
Pero fuerte porque tiene fuerza. Son feos.
And that, but I did. Keep running. So most of the time, like when you move them or something, without them, like their heads will stay in the correct place. Funny.
Exacto, cuando tienen huevos y cuando ya están grandes se traen aquí. Nada más que el problema de aquí hay muchos felinos. Por eso hay buenas casas con tipos mayas para que no entre animales felinos. Como celotes, pumas, jaguar, hay bastante porque la selva es muy profunda. Sí, hay jaguar.
Entonces por eso tienen esto.
Sí, por eso
There's
tenemos...
jaguars here and pumas.
Sí.
And ocelots.
Es muy ruidoso.
And when it was all done, we get to go to Cenote.
Mantienen y cuidan el lugar.
The Cenote is these people's backyard. Like, they come out to this. And the way it works, because there's so many cenotes in the Yucatan, even though they are owned by the government, technically, they allow the locals to run it and monetize it. So, this is one of the reasons that they don't feel like they have the right to charge that much. That's why the cenotes are so reasonably priced. Like this one was, I think, $4 to enter, and they really do take care of it. They really do value the fact that they have this masterpiece of the gods in their land. It's just a magical place, and they honor that and they take care of it and they offer it to the public. They are not selfish about it, they share. And it's magical. And you know, when we got there, Manuel was friends with these people, so they started talking in Mayan, which I loved, and I can't wait. I hope I can learn Mayan one day. And it was extraordinary, and it was beautiful, and we had a blast. Now after the cenote, we try to go to park, let's call it a park, like a place that was next door to it that had another cenote in it, and also had an expedition to see monkeys. Unfortunately, it was a lot pricier than we were expecting, and because this has been a long road trip from Merida that had several stops, it wasn't that long, we're only a few hours away, but it had several stops, then it was too much for us. And we travel on a tight budget, so we usually don't do anything lavish, and the price was kind of lavish for the situation, for not being prepared. It wasn't that expensive, but for not being prepared, it was a little high, so we ended up not doing that, and we ended up going back just to chill with the family. And he offered to take us hiking through his part of the jungle later on to see if we saw some monkeys, which was really cool. Unfortunately, it started to rain. But not that that matters for somebody like me. I freaking love the rain. So yeah, instead of being, oh, let's go hide from the rain, it was like, ooh, let's go, it's rainy. My kids know me by now, they know how it is. So it was nice to see Anne's son also come and join. The rain is just such an amazing feeling. Like the way it falls on your skin and the way it feels. It changes the atmosphere and the scents that come up as soon as it starts raining, and throughout it, and you know, the way the rain gets harder and softer, and there's something so special about all the little details that come with the rain. And not to mention that they hadn't had rain in so long, so this was priceless. This was special. And I'm sure we'll sleep like babies later on today. So even though it's raining, they offered to teach us how to make tortillas, so I'm really excited about this. I mean, obviously my ex-husband is Honduran, so we have dabbled in tortilla making before, but this is gonna be a unique experience, so I'm kind of excited.
Ahorita con esta lluvia se va a mojar.
A mí me gusta la lluvia, me gusta mojarme. Todo lo que nos gustaba lo notábamos. Todos los nombres.
So what makes this so different than anything I had experienced before is the fact that they don't use cornmeal to make their tortillas. They use their homegrown corn. No, I had no idea you could do that. so they boil their corn with cal, which I found so interesting. He's like, yeah, you know, that stuff that they plaster walls with. And I'm like, what? Like, you put that in food and it's okay? Like, it was, I love that. I love that. And the science behind it makes the shells of the corn kernels pop out. That is so interesting to me. After they do that, they take the corn and with a special little, it looks like a meat grinder, they smush it into a paste, and that's what they use to make their tortillas. And no wonder they were so freaking delicious. The taste is so different. It tastes so much more fresh. They were a little bit sweeter, but not sweet. They also didn't have the same texture. Their texture was a lot softer and a little bit more chewy. So like the corn tortillas that you buy at the store kind of just crumble in your mouth. This one felt more like a flour tortilla in your mouth. It was very pleasant.
Argue with my sister. Great idea that came up for a way to make a more great idea. Oh my goodness. Like robot.
Y esto lo hace.
If you have any questions about any of the things I mentioned, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. And don't forget to like and follow if you want to see more of our adventures and all the things we learn along the way. Thanks for joining. Bye!